Let's talk about the variety of different workflows that you can utilize using the MPC One and the Roland SP-404SX. How's it going, everyone? I hope all of you are doing well. My name is Chris. Thank you guys for visiting the channel today. In today's video, we're going to experiment with a different variety of workflows using the MPC One and the Roland SP-404SX. Now, I know most of you own both of these samplers, so I figured it'd be fun to try to experiment the variety of different methods of creating a beat using these two machines. So that's basically what we're going to get into today. We're going to explore our different workflow options and see which one we like best. Before we get into that, I just want to say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe. My goal before the end of this year is to reach 4,000 subscribers, and we are getting so close. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you to everyone who is showing their love by liking the videos, commenting down below. I really appreciate it a lot. It means a lot to me. All right, guys, let's jump right into the MPC One and the Roland SP-404 to see which workflow works best. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set up my signal flow. I'm going to set up the SP-404SX to go into the MPC One. That's going to be workflow number one. So let's do that first. So basically what I did is I'm going out of the SP-404SX into the inputs of the MPC One, and my MPC One is going into the inputs of my audio interface. So this first workflow that I want to talk about is very dependent on the SP-404SX. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing all my sound design effects and any other little things that I could add to the sample or samples into the SP-404SX. And then once I'm done and I'm satisfied on what I've done on the SP, I'm recording that into the MPC One. I have this drum break right here in the SP-404SX that I can play for you guys. And let's say I like that reverb effect that I wanted to add to it and I'm satisfied with it. I can record that into the MPC One, chop it up. As you can see in front of me, I've already done that. And then there, I have that SP-404 characteristic into my MPC One with whatever effect and effects that I can utilize. Once I pretty much gather all my sounds into the MPC One, I can sequence like normal and just continue finishing the beat. I would say that's probably my favorite workflow because it gives me the best of both worlds and it allows me to use all the cool effects that are included in this little box and be able to, you know, basically dump them into the MPC One. I imagine a lot of people use this workflow. In this scenario, you really don't need MIDI because you're not really sequencing the samplers together. You're just using this to process the sounds and this to arrange everything. So now the second method that I wanted to explore was using MIDI. Let's say you already gone ahead and chopped everything on the SP-404SX, all your drums, all your samples, all your sounds, added your effects, and you don't want to take the time to record all of those into the MPC One. That's the cool thing about MIDI. Let me give you guys an example. As you can see right now, I'm in pad perform mode and I have it set to B major. And the reason why I have it set up that way is so that it lines up perfectly with the sounds that I already have loaded onto the SP-404SX. So let me play that drum break that you heard earlier straight from the MPC One. And as you're able to see, I'm able to record the MIDI into the MPC One. And basically anytime I press play, it's going to play the samples and sounds from the SP-404SX. Now my routing hasn't changed in the way that I've had it in the patch bay. Right now I'm still going from the SP-404SX into the input of the MPC One. So my biggest issue with this workflow, although I do like the idea of being able to just control the MIDI and use the MPC One as a sequencer, I still haven't found out a way of how to basically set up my samples only, not my drums, in mono. So when I hit one pad, it cuts off the other one, kind of like a choke group. But as you can see, what I would want to do is be able to press pad 1, and when I press pad 2 for it to cut off pad 1. I'm pretty sure there's a way of doing it, but like I said, I just need to spend a little bit more time figuring that out. That is my only complaint about this second workflow. Otherwise, I really do like this workflow because you don't spend any time sampling back into the MPC One. I mean, you can set up your audio tracks and just kind of record your sequences that way, but this is a good way of just kind of setting everything up and then just bouncing everything to your digital audio workstation for further mixing and mastering. Now, this third workflow that I'm going to be talking about today is basically using everything in the MPC One, sampling everything into the MPC One, cleaning it up, chopping it up, pitching it down, pitching it up, whatever it is that you're doing, and then bouncing that into the SP-404SX and using either the resampling method or the sequencer on here to make your beat. Now, because the SP-404SX doesn't have a MIDI out, there's no real way for me to control the MPC One, which is fine because most likely all you'll want to do is record those samples into the SP-404SX and then add more effects to them. Add the reverb, compression, tape, echo, vinyl simulator, whatever. You would probably want to do it that way anyway, because if you do it with the MIDI, there's no real way for you to really add those effects to it because MIDI is just data, it's not audio. So let me show you guys an example of what that might look like. As you can see, I've already gone ahead and chopped my drums. I didn't do anything spectacular. My drum chops are not as precise, but I like this concept a lot because, add your envelopes, attack and release, whatever it is that you need, and then sample that into the SP. And then you can go ahead and proceed and arrange it however you like, resample it, do whatever you're comfortable doing on the SP-404. I can see a lot of people using this because I imagine that a lot of people have owned the SP-404 for years, and they just maybe, let's say, happen to pick up one of the new MPCs, whether the One or the Retro, Live 2X, whatever it is. And maybe they're just comfortable on sequencing on the SP-404SX, and they just use this to kind of sample and trim and transpose, etc. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still get a good sound, and it still works to your benefit, your workflow, without taking anything away. Some people just happen to work a lot faster that way, and that is okay. There's no right or wrong. It's just the idea is to know that you have different options of approaching the same idea, the same concept, the same beat. So on this one, I like to use a pattern sequencer because I'm just comfortable with sequencers. But if I wanted to resample, right, I can just hit resample. And then as soon as I hit the pad, it'll start recording. or whatever it is that you want to do. So
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job.
This village had a virus shared by its people. It was the germ of squalor, of hopelessness, of a loss of faith. Germ of squalor.
And that is it, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know which workflow is best for you in the comment section below. Is there a workflow that I missed? Let me know in the comment section below. Please do me the favor and check me out on Spotify at Chris Galactic Beats. I am on all social media platforms, so if you guys want to follow me there, please do so. It supports me and the channel a lot. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.